What's going on, guys? It's Joesty coming to you with a new bike. I'm super stoked to announce I just picked this up. This is an Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 factory. Now this is a 19, this is not a 20. I did buy it brand new though. It's a leftover model that I got for a steal of a deal. Now the dealer that I bought it from had new ones in and it had a couple leftovers. Was also a Ducati dealer. So they did have Ducati Street Fighter 2020 in stock. But I went with the Aprilia, and I'm going to go over why. I got this bike for $15,400 plus tax. Brand new. No miles on it when I bought it. Well, 1 or 2, whatever. But brand new. Steal of a deal. So this is the first ride, guys. I rode maybe like, I don't know, 20 miles out here to really do the first ride on it. But I mean, all I was doing was kind of setting the rings on it, you know, just cruising out here trying to get a feel for the bike. So we'll get out there and we'll do the first ride. One thing to point out, they do sticker the crap out of this thing with warning stickers. It had like 3 warning stickers here, which were a pain in the butt to get off. And then this one, which the engineers at Aprilia decided, we're going to put it on the inside of the windscreen. Yeah, that's not on the outside. It's on the inside. So I've got to take the freaking windscreen off. Ooh, glove came off. Got to take the windscreen off just to get that decal out of there. Freaking jerks. All right, let's go do this. Oh, yeah. It's a freaking scorcher already, guys. I mean, I tried to get out pretty early today to beat the heat. I mean, it's like 9:30 right now, I think. I don't know, maybe it's 10 by now, but it's already like 85 degrees. I'm sweating. I need to get some airflow. This is probably the best sounding bike with a stock exhaust that I have ever been on. But it's almost like it either sounds like a freaking scooter or it sounds nasty, depending on if that valve is open in the exhaust. When the valve's not open, it sounds like a freaking scooter. Like right now, it sounds like a scooter because it's so muffled. You can't hear anything. Oh yeah, you guys go that way. And then when I open her up, oh yeah. Oh, she sounds so good. This engine, when it gets a pipe on it, it's gonna sound downright nasty. This is one of the best sounding bikes you can buy. And I've got some pretty dang good sounding bikes. I've got the R1, I've got the Ninja H2. I wouldn't say the Boost is one of the best sounding bikes, but this one here, I think is gonna take the cake when I put an exhaust on it. And I think I'm gonna go with a Project SC on this bike. I know it's a little louder, but man, it deserves it with this motor. It's really gonna make it sound nasty. Now, I'm gonna be comparing this a little bit to some of the other Super Nakeds I've owned. I've had a MT10, a 2018. I've had an FZ10, a 2017. I've had a 2017 FZ09. And I've also had a 2015 KTM Super Duke 1290. So this is my first Italian bike I've ever owned. Now, the first thing is ergonomics of this bike. I bought it because I wanted something a little bit more comfortable to ride. Something that's not like gonna kill your back, kill your wrist, and still be super sporty, still be track capable, because I do plan on tracking this bike. I think it's gonna just flat out replace my R1. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sell the R1 because I really don't ride it anymore unless it's a track day, and this one can do track days, so I think I'm just gonna replace it. You're a little bit lean forward, not anything crazy. Like, I am super comfortable on this bike. The MT10, you're kind of a little bit lean forward. I'd say this is a little more lean forward. The Super Duke, you're just flat out upright. Like, it feels like you're on basically a really big supermoto on the Super Duke. So this is a little bit more leaned over. I'm 5'10". If you can see, my leg is decently bent. Nothing crazy, but the pegs are up higher than something like an MT10 or a Super Duke, which I would prefer, because one of the big things on those bikes is when you're getting aggressive in the corners, you really start scraping your pegs. And I was really looking at putting some rear sets on those things because they were just too low. But I was looking at putting rear sets on them. They're just too low. I mean, it was hard to get into that racy feel on the Super Duke because it was so upright. Where this thing, I don't think I'm going to have a problem getting into that. The other thing is, this thing is so flickable. It's so light, guys. Like, for a freaking 1100, it's so light. I mean, technically it's 1,077 cc's or something like that, but it's very nimble on its feet, very light on its feet. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem tossing it into corners. Now, this is the factory edition, so it has the electronic Olin suspension on it. This is the first bike I've ever even ridden with an electronic suspension. I mean, I have no idea what to expect, but I'm hoping it'll be really nice. I'm really looking forward to the fact that you can stiffen it and loosen it up for touring or whatever, and do that just at the flick of a switch, basically. Let's hear that V4 rumble. Oh yeah, baby. Oh man, this mirror's loose. I need to tighten that. Look at that guy. It sounds so good. Now, I haven't really got into it that hard yet. I'm gonna get a few miles on it before I do. I believe in a hard break-in, so I'm gonna start gradually getting into it more and more. I'm not putting 600 miles on this bike before I let it eat. Oh yeah. All right, let's see how she does on the twisties. Brand new tires, so I'm gonna take it a little easy, guys. We'll see how at home she feels. Oh yeah, she feels right at home, boys. Just falls right in. Holds that corner easy. These super courses know what they're doing. They're sticking. And the brakes are phenomenal on this bike. Absolutely ludicrous brakes on this bike. Oh, getting low. Oh, guys, this thing's gonna be phenomenal on the track. It's gonna be so good. Oh yes, the brakes on this bike, I can't even explain how good the brakes on this bike are. I mean, the R1 has good brakes. From the factory, it has good brakes. Pads transform that bike into great brakes. This thing just laughs at the R1's brakes. In terms of feel, now downright stopping power, the R1 and this may be pretty close, but in terms of how the brakes feel, this thing has a great feel. This is one of those bikes that you, if you really wanted to, you could just one finger the lever on hard braking, no problem. I mean, it'll throw you over the front end pretty easy. Oh, they opened that way up. Huh. Oh, it sounds delicious. It's so good. I can't wait to uncork this thing. Oh yes, oh yes. The LCD display is phenomenal. I mean, it's pretty sunny out and I have no problems reading anything on here. It's got a good bit of controls here. I believe this is your pit lane, so that when you go into the pits, you hit that button, keeps you at the speed limit so that you're not flying into the pits. This is your toggle to go through all the settings on there. This is the creme de la creme here. Every single bike in production should have this. I'm a firm believer of it. That is cruise control. I don't know why they don't put it on everything, especially sport bikes. Especially sport bikes. Like, how many sport bikes are track-only bikes? Like less than 1%, right? So if you have an R1 or you have a Gixxer 1000 or whatever, those bikes are not that comfortable. So when you're on the highway, at least give us some cruise control to make it a little more comfortable, you know? I hate that whole, like, where you gotta speed up and then you're out here shaking your hand off because you're doing miles on the highway. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Cruise control on every bike. We need it! Turn signals there. I don't know what this button is, to be honest. I haven't messed around with it that much. So we'll figure that out. It's got this little plus and minuses on the other side down there. That's to adjust traction control on the fly. Now this bike has a couple different riding modes for throttle mapping, which are all adjusted through the start button, believe it or not. Right now I am in race mode. Oh, debris on here. So there is also sport and track mode on it. The feeling is pretty good on this bike. It's a little touchy in first gear. I mean, as you saw where I was taking off there, it was kind of lunging a little bit at low speeds. I haven't tried the other modes yet, so maybe in track mode or in sport mode, it's a little bit better. This thing on the pipe just sounds so ferocious. I can't believe the stock exhaust sounds this good. I mean, it sounds so good with the stock exhaust. This mirror is really getting on my nerves, that mirror. We're gonna fight. I'm gonna break it and put some bar ends on this thing. I mean, this thing is phenomenal on the quick shifter. Great stuff from the factory. This bike has all the options I would want from the factory minus one, which is heated grips. Being in Ohio, I really would like to see heated grips on this thing. The other is the headlights. I love the way they look, but like everybody says, get with the times, Aprilia. We don't need halogen headlights on a 2019 bike. You know, give us some LED headlights, give us something, some HIDs, you know? Give us something sweet. Now, as far as mods that I think I'm gonna do on this bike, brakes, like I said, are phenomenal. Those things aren't getting touched. Pipe, Project SC. Gonna do the Aprilia race ECU on it to adjust the mapping. I am gonna get rid of these mirrors, do some bar ends on it, get rid of that freaking boat anchor, or do a tail tidy, and maybe some carbon fiber bits, maybe a little bit of powder coating. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna go crazy on this bike. I've got plenty of crazy bikes, but I mean, this thing's gonna be pretty much my touring track back road bike, because the H2 and the Booster are obviously just straight line monsters now, which I dropped the H2 off to Travis Yeager yesterday. He says he'll be done with it by Wednesday, and it'll be a monster. It'll be 300 plus horsepower when I get it back. So we'll be going out and doing some smackdowns with that thing. Oh, the other thing, I do want to get a tank ring for my SW Motec bag. I've got the little micro bag, because that saves you from having to bring a backpack on these short trips and stuff when you want to bring camera gear or whatever. You know, I do want to put an SW Motec on there just to give you that little bit of capacity, because this thing has absolutely no tail capacity at all, like all of my bikes have, literally none. The Busa has the most, but it's just got all kinds of electronics back there for the turbo kit, so it basically has no storage either. Alright, let's see, get that old joystick going. Wheelie control, settings, wheelie control. How do I turn you off? Do I have to turn traction control off? Oh my god, no, I don't want... No, I want my quick shift down on. Freaking lift control? Why does it have lift control? No, that's launch control. What in the world? What in the world? All these acronyms, I can't keep up. Oh, there we go. Traction control off, wheelie control off. So you have to turn traction control off to get your wheelie control off. That seems a little dangerous. We'll go with it though. I like danger. It just sounds so good. I love the way this bike sounds on the pipe. On that pipe, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, it just falls into those corners. It just begs you! It just begs you to get crazy! It's like, let's get swifty with it, boys! Oh yeah! She likes the party! She likes the party! No wheelie control, baby! Just falls into corners. Oh yeah. She's a beast. And throw it up. really want to see what it's like getting up high in the revs. I mean, it's got a lot of thrust even from low down RPMs. It's just got all that power moved to the middle of the rev range, and it can just yank you out of corners. And I mean, it just flick back and forth like nothing. Yank you out of the corner. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, guys. Oh yeah. Brakes all over the brakes. All over those brakes. Those beautiful brakes. What do we do? What do we do? We turn around. That's what I think. I think we go back and hit some other roads. She power wheelie around like 6 or 7. Oh yes, she will. She was coming up. She's got the power. The second gear, 6,000-7,000 RPM. She was starting to come up. I don't want to do too many wheelies breaking it in. You know, I want to be kind of easy on her, but I don't want to. I don't like people that pussyfoot the brake in. You know, like if you're gonna ring on the bike all the time, why would you break it in and get his hopes up like it's going to be a cruiser, you know? The ring's set pretty quick on these things. Tolerances are not too shabby, so I mean, should be good to go. You know, maybe put 100 miles on it. Oh yeah. Freaking hammer the brakes. Back into the corners. Oh, she likes it. 30 miles an hour. I saw 70. Let's get it. Just like nothing. Like nothing. Absolute hoon bike, guys. Absolute hoon bike. Which, by the way, when you guys see those shift lights come on, it's set, I think, to like 10 grand or something like that. So it's not, I'm not revving this thing out at all. I mean, I'm shifting at the point you're supposed to be shifting, breaking it in. It's like 8 or 10 grand in there. I don't know. The orange light comes on. Let's see. Let's just see. Yeah, it's got it set to 10 grand, the shift light. So I'm being kind of proper with the brake end, you know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So delicious sounding. Those hill crests. It's just so easy to throw this thing up over those hill crests. Oh man. Alright guys, there you have it. The new bike. The Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 factory. That's right. This one's gonna be getting built up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. But so far, man, I'm loving this thing. It just falls into these corners. So easy. Tons of mid-range power. I dig it. I dig this bike. So you're going to see this bike a lot more. We're going to be doing hooligan things on it. We're going to be doing track days on it. We're going to be doing trips to other states on it. So be prepared to see a lot of this. H2's coming back soon. Half mile with the Busa this weekend. Be prepared for all of that. If you could, give the video a like. That always helps the YouTube algorithm. Helps me get out there a little bit more. You guys are going to see some more savage stuff coming. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, guys. Peace.